So,
Mr. Cameron, thank you for joining us tonight. We are here to have a great time.
Yes, yes, yes.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
What's up, everybody? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm hoping you guys are doing great tonight on this cold winter night.
Oh yeah,
Man, I
it's
tell
cold.
you, yes, and traffic was horrible tonight. Well, I just want to welcome you guys to walking against the current. But say welcome against the current. It's been one of those days, so we want to welcome you to walking against the current. We are very happy that you are joining us this evening. We are happy to be back, and we are going to have some fun. We promise you guys Christmas talk, and we're going to jump right into Christmas talk. But of course, I have to ask my infamous question: how you doing, son?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just trying to welcome the people that's on here. Um,
Awesome.
get my tagging on. So y'all please like, share, tag, hit at highlights, at followers. Let's get the people on here.
That's right. I think you're going to open up tonight. We're going back and forth with
You put
that.
me on the spot.
I got to. Today was I'll just while you're preparing to talk, it was a little hectic for me. It was a lot of accidents tonight on the highway, a lot of accidents.
Mm,
And I just want to encourage everybody tonight to take your time on the road.
yeah,
A lot of families are losing people unnecessarily, a lot of unnecessary accidents from rushing. Let's take our time. Let's walk against the current and be different and slow down.
yeah. So we're not going to be before you guys long tonight. Yesterday was my baby girl's birthday. She turned 9 years old. So
Ooh,
our family tradition is to sing happy birthday. We got the cake, the ice cream, we got the whole nine. So we're gonna be doing that shortly after this. But we wanted to be consistent. We didn't come on last night because I was on call um, at the sheriff's department. So, was busy. So I wanted to make sure we stay consistent and do it the same week, but just move it to Tuesday. So, nevertheless, tonight our topic is the gift that costs nothing.
ooh.
The gift that costs nothing. And the main question tonight is going to be if you can give a Christmas gift, right, that didn't cost you anything, what would it be? If you can give a gift this Christmas that didn't cost you anything, what would this be? Or what would it be, rather, right? Because here's the thing, guys. In this season centered on spending, buying, and gifting, we pause to ask a deeper question because many people are so concerned about things and concerned about how much something costs and concerned about how many gifts are under the table. But what about the gift that does not cost you anything? That can be time, that can be love,
You gave my
that can be
answer.
so many different. Oh, I'm sorry. I start flowing with it, man. So yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, I mean, I'll start off by saying that I think the gift that doesn't cost nothing, although you said it's the currency. I know I love your little statement
Oh
that you
yeah,
always say.
currency one, yeah.
But I mean, I think time is something that we cannot ever get back. So it's now all of them. And I'm like, man, where did the time go? Especially when last night me and Sammy got to talking about just different events in his life growing up. And he was like, Mom, I just wish I can go back to that time when life was simpler. So I would have to say time would be something that I would want to give more of. I'm actually already thinking right now of planning a trip to go see my oldest daughter because I just want to be more available to my kids.
I
Yeah,
like that. And I think I shared on here one time that mine was to, I guess it ties into time, like just being
right.
intentional, like with everything. I had a couple of epiphanies, and we talked about that off camera, just about purpose,
Mhm.
when it comes to purpose, when it comes to your life. And it all ties back to intentionality, just being intentional. So I think the gift I would give people is to be intentional with them, let them know that they are valued and that I do see them.
Oh man, that is so important. And it's not always what a person wants. Sometimes it really is goes back to the cliche of what does a person need? Back when I was a kid, life was a lot more simpler. I remember when parents would get gifts, sometimes they would get what you needed. It wasn't always what you wanted. I remember getting socks and pajamas, and sometimes when you would see that kind of stuff, you're like, what the? Because you just, as a child, you're just thinking about gifts. But sometimes, I mean, and I know we talked about not buying anything. I mean, and there are times when you gave, as the world would call it, hand-me-downs. But if you had something that was valuable that you can pass down to another child that your child really enjoyed, let's do that. How many of us have things in our closets, in our garages, that we could actually give to someone that would really appreciate it? And it didn't cost us nothing. So, I mean, I'm really starting to think. I told little Sam last night, I said, I'm going to go to that garage. I have so many valuables in there that I don't use. Just the other night when I was in my closet, I found comforter sets that were brand new.
Mm,
And I'm like, I can gift this to somebody, don't cost me nothing.
wow. Wow.
Yeah. So,
I'm wearing my Meta glasses tonight, you all,
oh,
so I'm trying
okay.
something new, a little fashion statement for Christmas.
And I got a little fashion statement too. I took it back to the 90s, I was going through my photo album and I saw so many photos of me and my older sister. Well, she hates when I say it. We only a year apart. But back in the 90s, we wore these kind of hats, and I'm sure it was very stylish, and they're bringing them back out. And I grabbed me a few. I really like this look.
Yeah, it look good.
Thank you.
And Sharonda got me these for Christmas.
So what is that? Because you had to tell me it. Maybe some people don't know what that is. I didn't.
So these are Meta glasses. It's almost like AI. Well, not almost. It is AI. You can ask your glasses like, where am I? Like, what am I looking at? And it would tell you. Like, it's crazy. And you can put your prescription in here. It's crazy. Like it's.
So just dumbing us down some more. It's like, I mean, literally now we're not thinking for ourselves no more. We're not thinking for ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's fun though, right?
These are fun. These are fun. You can take pictures with them, record from them.
Oh.
It's not like you can secretly record somebody because it flashes a white light to let them know that you're recording.
I remember somebody in my family was taking some pictures and somebody got offended by it. So you gotta let somebody know when you start taking sneak pics,
Right, right. But getting back to what we was talking about, when it comes back to the gift of Christmas, right? And we talked about this in our men's group called Men Matter. One of the topics was presence over presence, right?
Mhm.
Presence, a gift over presence, as in your physical presence, right? And I think people get the two misconstrued, but being present is one of the hardest gifts to give in a distracted world. Phones down, ears open, heart engaged. Many people don't need more stuff, they need to feel seen and heard, right?
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Like we live in a world where they measure love by price tags.
Yeah.
So like how much did that cost? Or we measure stuff by what it costs, opposed to what really matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And even talking about that, um, it's so profound because I find myself, I'm talking about myself, when I'm with my children, family, my mom, siblings, and we're trying to do things, right? Sometimes I can value the presence, the price tag, over the presence of my time, of
Mhm.
my, just being present with the family.
Right.
And it's like, well, I could be like, man, I bought this, or I did that, or I paid the bills, or I do this. And sometimes none of that stuff matter. People just want your presence.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
not your present. Well, they want that too.
I'm looking at my granddaughter. She's like, "Yeah, you better give me a present."
Another comment, she said, kindness, love, and encouragement is
Oh
one gift that you can
man.
give somebody.
Oh
Kindness,
man.
love, and
Kindness.
encouragement.
Wow, that's really good. And I mean, I was in the store today. It's a true story. And I was looking for something. And I was walking in the aisle, kind of absent-mindedly because I was shopping. And I kind of walked in front of this sister. And when I turned around, I said, "Oh, pardon me." She just grilled me like, and I was like, I almost wanted to say, why? Like, why are you looking so miserable? And I just smiled. I took the high road. I just smiled at her and I said, "Please forgive me. I was not paying attention." Even with all of that, and I gave her a big smile, flashed the dimples and all, I flashed the dimples. And she still just walked away with such an attitude. So I love what my sister said, kindness. That really does make a difference in the world.
It does. Let me ask you guys a question, right? Here we go with the questions.
You gotta ask a
Let
question.
me ask you guys a question. And I got a few questions here. Trying to think what I'm gonna ask. What distractions keep you from being fully present? What distraction in your life right now, today, keep you from being fully present?
Hmm. For me, I would have to say, I'll answer it first, but audience, jump in. We love your comments. For me, I would have to say, oh, dare I say it, my telephone.
Now, you was the main
I
one
know.
about phones.
I
Put the
know.
phone down.
I
Get off
know.
social media. Get off. TikTok wasn't popping like that then.
Right, right.
Instagram and put the phone down. And now she the main one sending us TikToks all day long.
You could tell on me.
All day long, she's sending TikTok in the family group chat.
But it be meaningful ones though.
It don't matter.
If I see something that I really feel like the family can learn from, I'm gonna send it to you.
I know, and it is beneficial stuff, but I laugh because you're the main one. I mean, oh my God, you was like the social media police. Like, put the phone down, get on social media, and now every day it's bound to have at least two TikTok something like that.
Yes, and that's how. Oh yeah, I will admit I've gotten a little out of control with it.
Yeah.
I will admit.
People put in here life issues. Okay, social media in my mind. Yes, your mind, Amy. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, she needs to be honest. She knows her TikTok.
Oh yeah, you need
Mimi
TikTok.
knows her TikTok. She knows. That. But yeah, your algorithm can have such good stuff.
And it's crazy because once you start watching something like one particular thing, you start getting that over and over.
Yeah, you absolutely doing it. And when I like to watch powerful stuff, so I'm like, ooh. And then I learned that you can search powerful stuff and more stuff come up.
Right.
And it's like, ooh, more information. But yeah, it's out of control now.
Oh my God. I think for me it'd be the same thing. It'd be my phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, I wonder, can your drive be a distraction?
If it's out of balance. If it's out of balance.
Like your willingness to want to be successful, your willingness to want to help other people, your willingness to want to see people win. Because I think sometimes that becomes a distraction for me. Especially like I talked to you today about dealing with the youth and dealing with kids. A couple of events happened recently that made me really look at the mindset of our youth.
Oh man, and I told you that. I was like, man, we've got to get a program together. It's like another program, another thing. People in my life tell me right now, they say, hey Liz, you seem so busy. And sometimes I don't feel like I'm busy enough. But I'm always doing something. It's extremely hard for me to just sit tight and just curl up on the sofa and watch a movie. So
yeah, that is really hard.
It's hard for me.
Like even like if I have nothing planned for the day, it's hard to lay in bed all day.
Me too.
Like, I gotta get up and do something. It's like I gotta clean the bathroom. I gotta go meet somebody because it's
right.
like it's always something to do. I feel like so that's the distraction.
Yeah, and I know Lauren's passion for wanting to get back to the youth, and I was like, put something else on your plate. I'm like, hey Lawrence, we need to start like we let us know your thoughts. We need to start a law class in teaching the youth about law to fully get an understanding while they're young, so when they get ready to make choices and decisions, that they could know the consequences. And I was like, man, we could start a little law class going on. And he was like, yeah, that sounds great. I'm thinking, when the heck do we gonna have time to do that?
Yeah, I had a conversation today with a very prominent organization here in Columbia, South Carolina, and they seen what the Men Matter group was doing, and they followed our page. And I spoke to one of the directors today via email, and they want to collaborate and do something, do some stuff, and that's going to be huge for the organization. That's going to be huge for what I do when it comes to law enforcement, because I think it's very imperative for us to not just serve during your 8 to 5, quote unquote, but to be able to serve all around.
Right.
Because parents have questions, people have questions, children have questions. And, like I said, there's been a lot of recent unfortunate events, and talking to a couple of youth, just asking them questions about certain things. And I was astounded by their thought processes of what they thought something would happen based upon their reaction. Not understanding that every action has a reaction, right? They didn't understand that. So just hearing the responses, I was like, man, we got work to do.
Absolutely got work to do. I've been fortunate enough growing up in New York. We have a lot more city funding than they have here in the South. And so I was telling you today, I was like, I had a law class, and it made a difference in my life, and all of those different classes that I had made a profound difference in my life. And then when I look at the youth and I hear some of your stories, or when I'm reading different things that's going on just right here in Columbia, I'm like, man, these children, and we have the people in our lives to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
We have lawyer friends. We have different, people that we can collaborate with to make it happen. Because I really do feel like a lot of mistakes that are happening in premature death could be avoided if they had a better understanding.
Yeah. And everything is about understanding, everything
Yeah,
about
it is.
communication. But the thing about it is, you hear some people saying that this youth today, they don't want to listen.
Yeah.
So they take that
Hmm.
that one segment, right, and use that as a crutch to say, I'm just not gonna teach them at all
Right.
because they don't want to listen to me.
Because
You
sometimes
know,
it's so frustrating.
it is
Let's
frustrating.
just be frank here tonight.
It is frustrating.
Let's say keep it funky, as my brother says. Just his line, keep it funky.
It's people fucking with the good stuff. You know?
How many times have people put their lives on the line to educate the youth and the family members? Because it's not just the youth. I am really going to challenge you. And I say it all the time, and you know how I feel about this. Mothers really spend a lot of time, and mothers and fathers. I mean, I get chewed out in the comments. So mothers and parents have got to get together. Because if you got parents walking around like that sister I saw in the store today, and she's somebody's mother, what kind of
Example.
is she giving to the student? So it's not just something that we can deal with the youth. It's something that we have to deal with, with the whole family.
Mhm.
But I mean, the fact is that I was going to say earlier is that a lot of people have gotten frustrated because people have laid their lives down for the betterment of our people, and who started programs, and then people stretch their neck out, put their careers on the line, and do all these things, and they don't have the backing. People are not supporting them.
Right.
So sometimes it is frustrating. It's like, what am I doing this for? I'm sacrificing my life, my time, my family, my this, my that. And then people really do not collaborate and say, I want to jump on board. They might start off in the beginning, and then all of a sudden they get lost.
And they're not consistent.
It's not consistent. So it can be frustrating, but then the question has to come back. If not me, who?
Yeah, but sometimes I be feeling like, why me? Just keeping it real. It's like, why me? Why do I have to be the one? And I'm not saying I am, right? I'm just saying that.
You feel that you have the passion
Yeah,
naturally.
and I'm just saying, not with just this situation, any situation, right? Sometimes people be like, oh, well, you should be the one to do this. And it's like, why do I gotta be the one to go
Right.
stand up, the one to go speak up, the one to go help this person all the time? Where's everybody else at? That rally together when something negative happens.
Who's making suggestions to you, but they're
Right.
not jumping
They're
on
not
board.
jumping on board. So where are those people at? You know what I'm saying? So like you said, if not me, then who? But sometimes like, why me? And I understand
Right.
that, and I'm hear me. When I say that, I'm not saying it from a negative stance of I don't want to do it. It's just like, where's the help? Where's everybody else at? And I get
You're
it. God,
chosen.
right, I'm about to say that. God gives that stuff to people that, take my glasses off. God gives that to people who, he put on their heart. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
I accept the challenge. And this, like I told you in a couple of other episodes, I'm to the point in my life now is like, whatever God want me to do, I'm willing to do it. And I think that's the hardest part when we talk about this topic of giving and gift is because, I was talking to your brother about this today. When it comes to gifts and giving
Hmm.
and talking about God, the hardest part is when you don't know
Right.
the outcome.
Right.
You have to be willing to trust him to take you from point A to B.
Right.
We're not even talking about the Z, just from A to B.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's so hard when you're making decisions. It's like, man, like you said, why am I doing this?
Right.
This parent's not listening, these kids not listening, these men not listening, ladies not listening. Why am I doing this? I can go move, take a job doing X, Y, and Z, but that's not fulfilling you. That's not your purpose.
Right. Right.
And one of my biggest concerns is, Les Brown said something so powerful. He shared a story about a guy who died, and surrounded by him was ghosts.
Oh.
He's on his deathbed, and it was ghosts surrounded by him. Ghosts of like, aspiration, his dreams, his purpose, all those things.
Right.
And the ghost said, "We was assigned to you to help you fulfill all these things on earth, but because of your lack of discipline, because of your lack of consistency, because of your lack of perseverance and just fear, now we must die with you."
Mm.
And so many people are living in this world, right? I'm sorry, they're existing in this world,
Right.
but they're dying inside because they're not doing the things that God called them to do. And Lord knows I say all the time, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes every single
Every
day.
day. Right.
Every day I make
Every
mistakes.
day.
There's nothing but God's grace, His mercy that gives me um, the ability to keep going, right? But I want to be able to say when that time comes for me that I did my purpose.
Right.
I,
That's it, man.
you know,
That's the main thing. So we get back to the question tonight is what are we willing to give as a community here? I mean, we have people watching us from New York, Chicago. We have a lot of audience, people watching us from different states. So the community meaning everybody. What are we willing to give that doesn't cost anything that you can honestly say you're making a difference in somebody's life? I mean, it could be something like hope. Hope is a quiet gift. It whispers and it doesn't have to ever end. You can always give somebody hope. And what does hope look like? It could be a prayer, it could be a smile, it could be a reminder that it's okay, you failed today, but you can get up tomorrow. So that's what hope looks like. Don't give up. You know, as a matter of fact, each and every time I'm driving and I hear ambulance, I'll start praying for that person. I don't know them. That's a gift.
right.
You know, I am gifting somebody with a prayer. I'm interceding for somebody I don't even know because I know that it's an emergency vehicle. Someone's in trouble and they need prayer. That is a gift. I'm giving you some nuggets tonight. There are so many things that we could give. We have to get back to foundation. I think that one of the things I've always taught my kids and some of my passions is foundation. How are you making a difference?
Mm-hmm.
How are you making a difference? I mean, we out here, people are killing themselves, literally shopping and spending their money, and they're not really making a difference outside of their personal families.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Uh, the letter said, "Oh, James Jones, Amen. Thank you, brother." The letter said, "You just said something. People will lay their burdens on you and will not reciprocate." That's so true. That is so true.
yes.
You know.
And something,
That's
and
so true.
that's why I said to you earlier, and I was saying it in a funny way, but I meant it. I truly do believe there are people that are chosen for certain gifts and certain tasks in life.
Because you always say, not to go into great details, right? But I get told all the time, "Oh, you should go federal. You should go work for the FBI, the Secret Service, or you should be a politician." And and my family always say, you should be doing something in the community. Like I love doing community stuff, and I love
That's your
children. I
passion.
love like the men's group. I love like pouring into people. Like you gotta ask yourself, what would you do in this world today, every single day?
I was just thinking that, and you didn't cost you nothing.
And it didn't cost you nothing.
I was just thinking that that's true passion. Do people
Yeah,
get paid for that?
yeah.
Oh man.
Like for me to go around talking to kids, talking to parents, talking to men, talking on stages, like
Right.
just filling people up with hope, with joy, because that fills me up. Like going to the men's group, sometimes I'm having a bad day, and I have to facilitate the meeting or talk about like how we doing right now.
Right.
And sometimes as I'm communicating with the other men in the room, you know, it might be an answer that a brother gives back that answers five questions that I had about my own family,
Oh wow.
about me as a man or as a
Wow.
father. You know what I'm saying? So the reciprocation of it, I love it. You know.
Right. Oh, I love that too. It's like the person, it's like when you're doing, hey, here's what I envision, because I believe that part of getting your dream is having a huge imagination. You have to see yourself doing it. You have to see yourself. So you have to get an imagination. So when you said that, it's like somebody else is like putting a plug in your back and charging you up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
charging the back.
You charge me up.
You try. So that's a good one, and I was going to say this too because I know we touched this topic on the last podcast when we talked about how this is the highest. And you probably know this more than me. This season is probably one of the highest seasons for suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And people are extremely lonely during this time. If they don't have family, children moved away. I mean, so many different dynamics can go on that can make people feel so lonely. So we really want to be intentional to look around the room because there are so many people that, and here's another crazy point that I didn't make. You could be in a room full of people and still be lonely.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're hurting, if you're inside hurting and dealing with something, how many people are hurting and they never express it?
Right.
You know.
And that's why it's so important. That's my next topic or segment, was to talk about the gift of forgiveness.
Yes.
You know, we have to be willing to give people the gift of forgiveness.
Yes.
Because here's why, you want forgiveness doesn't excuse behavior, but it frees the heart. Holding on to resentment weighs us down. Sometimes the gift isn't for them, it's for you. I always say
Oh
that.
man, yes.
The gift isn't for them, it's for you. And like you said, sometimes you can be in a room. Think about, we talked about this before. Think about being at family gatherings and somebody there that you haven't talked to in a while. And now you're in a room full of family and you feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You feel lonely because it's like, I have nobody to talk to. Now you on your phone. Now you're distance. Now you outside taking a walk. You doing all these different things because you cannot deal with the fact that those people are in the room because there's unforgiveness going on.
Yeah, there's unforgiveness going on. Or you made a mistake and you feel like the whole world is crucifying you for it.
Yeah,
You know, you see the TikTok, excuse me, videos when they're talking about the person that gets high, the person that gets drunk, and they're listening in. You know, we have to give grace to people.
right.
We have to be willing to give more grace to people. I mean, nobody wants to deal with the person that maybe stole your money or something, but we have to give grace because it's an illness. It's, you know, nobody wakes up wanting to be on drugs or an alcoholic. I mean, unfortunate things happen to people. Not that I'm excusing the behavior, but where is the grace sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes as a family, as friends, we're so hard on people, and we just have to give grace because love really does heal. Love
Yes.
heals. But if you're not willing to forgive and you just hold that person for something they may have done 10 years ago, what benefit are you getting out of that?
Right. And grace is so important.
Yeah, it's important.
You know, that I struggle with that with this job.
What do you mean?
Like, you know, sometimes, you know, I've been in law enforcement now almost 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes, like I tell everybody I ever interview, you know, or interrogate, I'm like, listen, man, at any given point in time, we all could be sitting in that chair.
That's right.
Don't look at me talking to you as I'm investigator, deputy detective, whatever. None of that stuff matters.
Right.
Right? It's only because of God's grace and his mercy
Man.
that I'm sitting here and not sitting there.
Right.
And I tell them, I'm like, listen, out of 365 days in a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You made a mistake one time that I know about.
Right.
Right? So I'm like, you're not a bad person.
Right.
Because, like you said, sometimes the guilt, the shame of what we do, what we've done, can make us feel this big. I ain't clocking T as the girls do, but it can make us feel. That's the new thing, clocking T.
Oh gosh.
You know, it can make you feel this big sometimes, a mistake that we make.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, listen, 364 days you may have been a saint, but on that one day you made a mistake.
Man.
You know, and I always say it's because of God's grace that I'm standing here or sitting here before you, not there. Because at any given point in time, we all could be sitting in that chair taking a ride down to the jail.
Yeah.
You know, so like you said, and I struggle with that sometimes with this job because Lord knows, man, there's cops, federal agents, there's people that make mistakes all the time.
Right.
That we know about. Society don't know about it.
Right.
But we know about it. And it's like, not saying you shouldn't do your job, but not saying you shouldn't, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Right.
it's sometimes I'm like, listen, if you can help somebody, help them. Don't throw the book at them
Right.
and stack 1,000 charges for something that, you know, show people some grace and mercy.
Yeah, give them grace. Give them grace. I mean, you were saying something. I wanted to say something now. I forgot. Gosh. Okay. But yeah, grace is it. You know.
Talking about the at any given point in time.
Yeah, I was gonna say something. Okay, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. I wanted to jump on something you said, but I didn't want to interrupt you. But the bottom line is we gotta give grace. I mean, the thing is, I mean, when you do something, when you're guilty of something, you're beating yourself up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing you need is somebody else reminding you each and every time of this mistake that you made, and you're trying to make a difference. I was going to say this. People say, "Oh, that person's never going to change." We should never say that.
Right. Words got power.
You know, we should never say they're never going to change. I don't even care how angry we are at them because my girlfriend just told me the other day, she was like, Elizabeth, I have not heard you cuss out a man in over 4.5 years. You have not told me a story. Listen, I'm being transparent now.
Yeah.
You know, because back in the days,
yeah,
then when I got angry, I would use foul language. I'm not saying I don't use foul language now. Let me be clear. Let me be clear, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just saying I choose no longer to yell and scream at a man or woman if I'm frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
I will choose to say I'm upset. I use my words.
Yep.
Emotional intelligence, I'm using that now. It's like, what am I gaining by telling this man or woman saying something so negative? So we really can change. I will not do it. I try my best not to do it. You know what I mean? I won't say I will never do it, but and right now I haven't done it in 4.5 years. I
Right.
mean, that's give me the hand claps. I mean, I said I haven't cussed nobody out. Okay. Another thing, another nugget that I think I use is whenever somebody enters my home, I don't care what status they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, because we put people on levels in life, unfortunately. People put people on levels. I try not to. You could be the man that's picking up the trash outside, and you can be the president of the United States. When you walk into my home, you get treated the same exact way. I'm going to show you love and respect the way, and the Bible says, it says, no respecter of persons. I really take that scripture literally. You
Yeah.
shouldn't treat people better because they have a certain status.
Right.
You should treat everybody with the same love and respect when they walk through that door. And I believe that's how you get your levels in Christ. I believe it's how you grow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people see you, and you're not doing it for people to see you. You're really doing it for God to see you. And he said, wow, look at them. They've graduated. The person that picked up the trash, like, oh, okay, go have a seat. President, hey, come in.
Right.
Let me show you around. Oh my God. Let me what would you like to eat? No, everybody's treated exactly the same. You can attest to that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Um, we got a couple of questions on here.
Okay.
Also, James, that's chicken. This is chicken. You are doing a
Okay.
great job. What's up, chicken?
Thank you.
What about being in a room with your family and everyone is sitting in certain cliques?
Oh, I can't stand that. I can't stand that. One of the things that my pastor taught me, which I'm so glad I watched him because he's a great leader, and we're gonna have him on one night too. Whenever he's somewhere, and I have invited him to personal family venues,
You want to give him a shout out? What's his name?
Pastor George Tedeschi and Pastor Lily Tedeschi, who are my mentors, absolutely in my spiritual walk, my parents in my spiritual walk. Whenever they come to an event, I don't care if people are drinking or doing what the world said you shouldn't do in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
He walks around. Have you ever noticed that? He walks around and he greets everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He is never in a clique. He don't sit down and puff up his collar and say that he's too good to be around this person or that person. He walks around and treat everybody. I learned from that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see clicks, I try to break them. I'll jump right in. You know me. I'll start talking. Right. Hey, what's up?
Right. All right. What about when you don't make a mistake and you are sent to jail? That person doesn't realize how they would change someone's livelihood just to add an arrest to their books. Oh yeah.
Mm.
Sometimes we could be in the right place at the wrong time.
Oh man.
Because a lot of times we hear the wrong place at the wrong time, but sometimes we'll be in the right place at the wrong time.
Right.
And sometimes people do make mistakes. People do say things out of anger, out of emotions that do get people unfortunately sent to jail. So that's true. Very true. Statuses does not matter in heaven. Yes, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And it shouldn't matter here, really, honestly.
No, it shouldn't matter here.
Right.
What about the gift of love in action? Right?
Love in action.
Love in action.
Yes.
Love isn't just spoken, it's demonstrated. A check-in, a hug, like you said, a prayer,
right.
Or a moment of patience. Love is an action word. We talked about this like in our very first and second podcast, that love is universal.
It is.
Like it don't matter what language someone speaks, it don't matter what nationality or race or creed they are. Like you can exemplify love through action, through expression, through a smile, through your presence. And the person don't know what the heck you're saying, but they can feel it. They can feel the love. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, the gift of loving in action. I've been more intentional with hugging my kids, and my daughter's sitting here. She's 13 now. She thinks she's grown.
Right.
she bought me a gift today, Christmas gift today. So I'm grateful for that. But
I did want to say one thing. If you're ever in a place where okay, if you're ever in a place where there's somebody that's there that everybody knows is the person that nobody wants to talk to, be the person that's walking against the current and encourage that person and talk to that person.
mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I forgot my train of thought now.
I'm sorry. I was attempting to finish that for you, but I'm sorry.
I forgot what to say.
You
But
so
I
much
was
again.
saying
So much again.
on the lines of that,
You being more intentional with your children and stuff.
yeah, just that, they're getting older. So,
Yeah.
if you have children that's getting older, spend that time talking to them, spend that time, because she's going to high school next year.
Oh my God.
So we were talking about that and just talking about, and like my mother talked real to me. We didn't talk about, I ain't gonna say the body part name.
Oh God.
We didn't use the
Politically correct words, so I guess.
yeah, or
The scientific?
the scientific words,
Mhm.
right? We use the words when we had conversation and dialogue, the real words that I was going to hear in high school, that I was going to hear, what I'm saying, from my peers. So that's how we talked to our children. And we had to talk with her recently about that. Like, there are kids your age that's pregnant. There are kids your age that's doing certain things, smoking, getting high, drinking, you know, honor yourself, honor your body.
That's right.
Honor the way you was taught and trained from your village, your family, like
Right.
just me or Sharonda, from everybody.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Your tribe.
Your tribe, make
That's
make
right.
us proud. I'm like, you got two parents, you got grandparents, you got, these kids don't realize how blessed they are.
Ah, they're so blessed.
They got the opportunity right now to go to college for not for free, but they don't have to pay for tuition.
Right.
And that's a blessing.
Absolutely.
So don't take that for granted. So I think it's important, like you said, that's loving in action, taking the time to have those tough conversations with your children,
Yeah.
because they're going to get to a point where they don't want to be up under daddy or mommy. They want to go out with their friends and do things. Grandma always says that. There was a point in time where I went with my grandma everywhere. And I think now that I'm older, I think she kind of used me to go so I can draw her around.
Oh, she might be listening.
But it was a point in time when I was 14, 15 years old. My grandmother used to have me go everywhere with her. And the benefit was she had me go with her. Yeah, the benefit was I was able to drive her around, right? That was my benefit. But her benefit was I was able to go with her and have, she had some company and have my grandson with me. And when I got my own car, she would say, "Hey, Kay, let's go." I'm like, "No, grandma, I'm going to go with Dion's car."
Right.
And she's like, "Dog, my road buddy done left me."
Right. And it's happened.
And
It's happened.
now that my children getting older, now they don't want daddy to do the things I used to do with them.
Right.
It's like, "Daddy, stop." Like, I try to give them a kiss when they go to school. Like, "Daddy, stop, get off me." I'm like, "Well, now I can't give you a kiss now. I
Right.
can't hug you in front of your friends. That's not cool. But, that's loving in action.
Yeah, and that's important. I mean, even with your spouses, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, taking time to, I was going to say some examples of a free gift, write a handwritten note to somebody to encourage them.
Yeah.
Encourage them out loud when they walk in the room. Like I said, that one person that everybody's kind of pointing the finger at. Because you in a family, you know who that one person is, right? We all know.
Oh, yeah.
When you have a family, there's always somebody in a family that somebody's talking about. So you can walk against the current and be that person that just encourages, walk over to that person intentionally and just show them love and ask them questions. Forgive quietly. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can just forgive. That's a gift. And sit with someone who feels alone and say, okay, yeah. I mean, there's so many things that we can do during this holiday and incorporate in our everyday life to be more loving, to be more caring, to be more intentional, just to be a better person. Like my sister said earlier, to be kind and forgiving. Those are the things that we can practice for free.
Oh, yeah.
For free.
Yes, yes, yes. So I have my closing reflection.
Okay.
If you got anything else.
I mean, when I get on this thing, I don't want to get off.
I know. But I just got a text from my baby girl. She wants some cake.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, tonight's her day. You know what I mean? It's her day.
She wants some cake.
And we doing it. Just want to say before you close, thank you for your comments. Thank you for coming on and like and share, like you said earlier.
Oh yes, yes, the gift of handwritten notes.
Yes,
so
it's powerful, and it's a part of history. I tell people all the time, writing is history because you can save that note and it can last for years, and you can read it years later. So, a heartfelt note from your mother or to your daughter or to your son could be in a picture book for years.
Or write a letter to yourself.
All right, and think about that picture you got. I mean, there are drawings that my kids made that I saved when you first learned how to write your name.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he was so proud, and I was proud too. I put it in his photo album. I mean, that's a part of history.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. And we got plenty of those. I got pictures from, man, years. That's 30 plus years old.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said it becomes part of history. What do you think a museum is?
Right.
When you go to a museum, it's just a piece of history that they have put up there and put in a nice casing, but it's sometimes just a piece of history, just something like a letter, something like a comb. I mean, just so many things that becomes history. You know, I love history.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So
So write a
listen.
note.
So listen, you write a note, please. So if you can give one gift this Christmas that didn't cost you anything, what would it be? Right? And more importantly, who are you willing to give it to? I want you guys to think about that as we close. Because Christmas is next week. Take the time to be safe. This is the time where unfortunately the devil's busy.
Right.
Things are happening, people are dying, getting sick, left and right, but we stand on Proverbs 91, that 10,000 may fall on my side, but it should not come near me.
Oh my goodness.
But seriously, take this time to cherish with your family, be present with your family, be intentional with your family, love in action, and just walk against the current, man. Just be different, be intentional, and just be joyous.
Absolutely. And that's your reflection?
That's my
All
reflection.
right, that's awesome. I mean, and that's the thing, be intentional and always be looking for someone that you can bless. Is there any last comments at the end?
It's a long one.
Okay.
This is from Eloise Woods.
Okay.
Yes, you are absolutely right. I felt as though you left me. Oh, this is grandma.
Right.
My grandma's on watching.
That's my mom. She's
Yeah.
getting the technology.
Yeah, my grandma's watching, and this is her comment on here. She said, "Yes, you're absolutely right. I felt as though you left me and kicked me to the curb and went, with, and went on with your life, which I know you had to do. But going with me was helping you learn how to drive and teaching you how to drive and drive safely and having you with me because I knew that day was going to come. Uh, you was going to move on with the adult life, and I appreciated every moment that we spent together. Thank you for being the grandson that you was, and the grandson that you are, and the grandson that you will be in the future. Love you."
Oh, now see now that's a perfect example about history. Now let me give you a little nugget. How many times have we opened up our Facebook or our TikTok and someone shared a comment of somebody wrote that's not even here anymore, but that's a comment that's going to go down in history. So that's precious. So say thank you.
I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Tell me say thank like I don't know that.
Yes, I'm still mama, right? My mama baby.
I was going to say something. You cut me off.
Okay, all right, all right.
No, I was going to say that meant a lot. My voice had a cracking as I was reading it.
Aww.
But yeah, thank you. That means a lot.
Seems that hard, a little pulling on the heartstrings.
Oh yeah, that meant a lot to see that.
Especially for my mom. I won't say it on live. My mom is tough, man.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see mom be a little vulnerable.
Look at me, LOL. Say thank you. I know, right? I'm like 2 years old. Say thank you, like.
My kids want to get on to me now. Just something about the gift they keep on giving. Be kind, be nice.
We're gonna be real on you too.
All right, so they're gonna be okay. We're gonna keep it real, 100.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, okay. So,
That meant a
but
lot.
that's precious.
I
That's
appreciate
precious.
that, Grandma. That means a lot.
Yeah,
Everybody
she
know
just
if
sweat
you
like
need if you need something, if you're in a bind and you need something, you know who to call. Lord knows.
yeah. Listen, my mom is always Johnny on the spot.
Grandma is the family bank.
She about like you better not say that out loud. No, she's very dependable, and
Yeah.
it's a comfort when you have a parent that is old that there's got to be if you just have a mom or a dad that you can depend on in life. That's such a comfort, it really is. So, and that's what I want to be to my kids. I want them to know that they can depend on me. Maybe not for the bank part, but
Yeah,
but
no,
time
the
and
big part is, if you need financial advice, if you need like, if I want to buy a car, right, for example, and if I don't want to buy it, I know who to call. It's gonna talk me what.
that's right.
She's the bank. She's gonna deny me. She's gonna tell me, no, don't do that.
That's
So
right. Absolutely. She's gonna give you sound advice because
for sure,
she's gonna give you
sure.
sound advice. So I want to just say thank you again for joining us tonight. Okay, we know our nights are normally Mondays, Tuesday, but we thank you for joining us. And we'll see you, well, it'll be before Christmas when you come back, right?
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah. There's a Monday next week.
Okay, okay.
Well, there's always a Monday, but
Duh.
but I think that there's no holiday next Monday. I think Christmas is what, like, I think Wednesday or Thursday, something like that.
Oh, so then we'll see you before Christmas.
Yeah, and I hope you guys like the flyer too. 'Cause I made that flyer today. No, well,
Yesterday.
Monday. Yeah, I made that flyer. So hope you guys like it.
Yeah. And look, do you see the table's red? It's for Christmas.
Yeah, she made the table ready.
I made the tables red, a little bright color.
So listen, we love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a blessed night and be safe.
And put my music on.
Everybody can hear it.
All right.
All right, love y'all.
Love you.